Sparkles. Today we're going to go over two quick things because I know we've got the big Tesla We Robot event coming out tonight. So we're going to discuss what the expectations are for that, and we'll discuss the slightly hotter than expected CPI data that we got out this morning. So first we're going to go over the CPI data. So everything came in 0.1% hotter than expected. So we were expecting a 2.3% year over year. We got a 2.4. We were expecting a 0.2% month over month. We got a 0.3. Core, we were expecting 3.2%, got 3.3. And on month over month core, we were expecting a 0.2% and got a 0.3. So what does this mean? Now, the market reacted negatively to this, but it kind of rebounded a little bit over the course of the day. And quite honestly, I think that the deflation scares that we had that were potentially out there are now kind of squashed. So having a little bit of a bounce back and forth kind of is one of those things that settled with the market over the course of the day to say it's not too bad to have a little bit of the inflation. And from an earnings standpoint, having a little bit of inflation ticking back up means that it's not going to put a huge pressure on consumers, which already have massive credit debt right now. But having those higher dollars coming in are going to give those earnings a little bit more of a push when it comes to all of the companies out there. So could be a good thing to have a little bit of inflation. But again, having it just bouncing around this area is not terrible. Now, again, we want to make sure this isn't going to be trending back up significantly. If we come back down that 0.1% next month, phenomenal. That's good. We can balance right around there. Still would like to see core coming down a little bit more. Want to see core under 3%. But this 1 month, not terrible. We just want to make sure that we're not going to see it get worse. And now you could say that potentially the port strike caused some of this. And I know that the port strike actually started in October, but we already got information that there was a lot of front-loaded buying going on in September because of the fact that they anticipated that strike coming on. So that higher demand in September could have pushed the prices up a little bit on things. So that may have been a little bit of the cause of it. Again, we'll just wait until next month's data to see if that is truly the case. All right, so now on to the fun stuff because I want to get this video out to you guys before the event actually starts. So the We Robot event. Obviously, it was initially touted as the Robotaxi event, and that's clearly going to be in there, but having We Robot also states that we're going to be getting something about Optimus. And Elon has been pushing and talking about Optimus as this has moved along and progressed much faster than expected, which, many of us have thought the same thing. I personally don't think that we're going to see anything really functional and really usable, something that we're going to see actually like being sold to other companies and hitting the bottom line till the end of the decade. So I think what we see tonight when it comes to actual Optimus could be some great progress and functionality. And if we could see how the robot is working, that's awesome. But I don't think it's going to be anything that's going to move the needle when it comes to the stock price or enthusiasm whatsoever. It's one of those, hey, this is cool. You're making progress. We'll keep it on our radar and see how that progress continues going forward. Obviously, the Robotaxi, having this all be a completely staged event going on the Warner Brothers studio leads me to believe that they're not really going to be doing anything wild when it comes to this. It's going to be, obviously on a studio set, going to be something that is going to be completely staged and planned out to be running to perfection. And it's going to show you the capabilities as to what the vehicle can do versus what, reality is going to be on the roads. And again, it's going to be nice to see this because it's going to give us a portrayal of what the expectations are. But we really want to know, when are those expectations going to become reality? That is going to be the big piece of when is this actually going to happen? Because obviously we've been hearing 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 years, whatever. When are we really going to see this? That's what we want to know. Now, for me personally, it's something I've been talking about regularly is I have a feeling that the cyber taxi footprint is going to be the same as the Model 2 or the compact car. I think they're going to be exactly the same. So this is going to give us an indication of, well, this is what the vehicle is going to look like. If they can give us a cost of what the Robotaxi is going to be, then we could tack on a few extra dollars because the Robotaxi is not going to have, pedals. It's not going to have a steering wheel. There's a lot of pieces that the Robotaxi won't have on a cost perspective. So then you could tack those things into the vehicle and say, all right, well, here's going to be the cost of the Model 2 if this is going to be the same footprint. If that's the case, and they had alluded to that previously, then you can extrapolate out what the retail is going to be on this and if we're going to be hitting that $25,000 mark. So if we can get enough of that information to put that all together and Tesla can provide us with, hey, this is when that Model 2 compact car is going to be coming out and starting to get produced. If they can confirm Q2 of next year, then we hit volume production in Q1 of 2026. If that's the case, then we might see some nicer movement coming out of the stock price itself. But Tesla doesn't want to give us too much detail when it comes to the timing of this, because then you're going to get into the Osborne effect and cannibalize the Model 3 and the Model Y. So you want to be careful of that there. So I don't know how much information we're going to get, but if we can at least get some sort of more indication as the Model 2 truly coming to fruition, that could be very good for the market, because right now, most of the market, most analysts out there are still pricing Tesla as an automotive maker. And it's justified strictly because of the fact that until we actually get FSD solved and Tesla coming out and saying we have level 4 and level 5 autonomy, Tesla's going to be only producing revenues coming from automotive. We have energy coming up, which is great, but right now the majority of their revenue is coming from automotive. So until they can say, hey, we are now going to be generating significantly more revenue from the FSD side of things and from Robotaxi, until we can see that within a 12-month period, we're not going to get that priced into the stock by many analysts. So that's kind of where we're stuck right now. And I think that's what we're looking at for the expectations. Now, are we going to get something about any other vehicles? I mean, Elon did say that this is going to be an official product launch. So is it just the Robotaxi? Is it going to be the product launch for the Model 2 as well? Maybe the Cybervan that's out there? They did give us indication that it's basically the footprint and the platform of this vehicle is going to be used for other vehicles as well. So you kind of have like that skateboard type situation where here's the very bottom of it and they just slap a different top on it, whether it's going to be the Robotaxi, the Model 2, a van, whatever they're going to do, that could be the case. Now, the Robotaxi is looking like it's going to be a smaller two-door vehicle. If that's the case, perhaps that footprint is not going to be the van. So maybe the van uses a different footprint like the Cybertruck, and maybe they have the two different sizes, sort of like you have the iPhone and the iPhone Pro. Maybe you have something similar when it comes to these vehicles where you're going to have the footprint for the Model 2 and the Robotaxi, and then you're going to have the footprint when it comes to the Cybervan and the Cybertruck. So if they kind of give us some information about that, that could be a very good fundamental piece of information going forward, because then you can understand how efficient production is going to be, how they can keep production costs down, and how they're going to be able to ramp up vehicles quickly to meet demand as we push into an environment where demand starts to pick up again. So again, what we are going to get tonight when it comes to Robotaxi, unless they specifically tell us, here's the timing, this is going to be solved, we're going to be coming out with actual Robotaxis on the road next year, I don't think we're going to see anything super exciting. Now, again, historically, we have seen all events be a sell the news situation. This time around, the feel is a little bit different. It's almost like people aren't expecting anything, so we haven't seen a massive run up into it. I mean, we saw a run in the stock over the last couple of months, got the delivery numbers, saw a little bit of a sell off, and we've kind of been around that 240-ish mark since then. So does this mean that maybe we'll actually get a pop after this event? I don't know. I don't really like to play those games. I'm not going to play gambling on this. I'm going to take this entire event as an information gathering event. Hey, what does Tesla's future look like 2, 3, 5, 10 years down the road? What are we looking at there? What do I want to place my investment thesis on based upon that information? What pieces of information do I want to watch most closely right now to see, hey, what's the progress on these things? Then I can make my investing strategy going from here. Do I want to add more? Just hold. Those are going to be just my thoughts going into this event. And you guys can let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, how you feel about this. But again, I want to get this out to you right now, so I'm going to cut the video right here. The event is at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central. So tomorrow evening in our live stream, we will be able to discuss everything that is going on and everything that happened at the event. So we can discuss it all live tomorrow night. And then I will put out a video on Saturday, kind of recapping the entire event as well. So that's all I've got for you guys tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all of your support. Have a great one.